Hi, Taehyung Lovers. Welcome back to the Taehyung Lovers channel all around the world. And this time, don't you dare skip the first 3 seconds. Because what we're about to discuss is not just a comeback, not just an ordinary K-pop stage. This is a moment that makes the world question, why has a performance of this scale never appeared on Netflix? What is actually being hidden? And why has the name Kim Taehyung once again become the center of global debate? If you think this is just fandom hype, you're completely wrong. This is about how one idol from BTS can shake industry standards, spark quiet controversy, and make international media start asking questions. So watch until the end, because by the end, you might start questioning everything you thought you knew about the K-pop world today. In this content, we will break down several key points that are rarely discussed openly. The strong reasons why the Arirang 2026 moment is considered too big even for global platforms like Netflix, how Taehyung's visuals and aura create a new standard that is difficult for other idols to match, an analysis of stage fashion worth thousands of dollars that is not just style but identity, the evolution of mic drop energy that is now more mature and dangerous, and finally, the most controversial point. Is the global entertainment industry actually ready to face the level of influence Kim Taehyung has today? Or is it trying to limit it without us realizing? Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. And most importantly, help this video go viral so the world never turns a blind eye to the impact and goodness of Kim Taehyung. March 2026. Wait, don't blink. Because if you miss these first 3 seconds, you might never truly understand why the world is asking, why was this moment never aired on Netflix? What is actually being hidden from the global public? This question is not just ordinary curiosity. It is a collective unease spreading rapidly among fans, industry analysts, and international media. Because if there is one word to describe what happened that night, the answer is simple yet powerful. This is not just a performance. This is a living icon. Amid a sea of stage lights pulsing like a giant heartbeat, Kim Taehyung stood not as part of the show, but as the center of gravity itself. The camera captured every angle in a composition almost too perfect to believe, a sculpted jawline, deep yet sharp eyes, and an aura that cannot be trained or imitated. The world may have long called him the Korean anime prince. But that night, the title felt too small to describe reality in front of thousands of captivated eyes. This is not just an idol. This is an artist who loves the stage with an intensity that is almost brutally beautiful. Every movement he makes, no matter how small, feels like a calculated artistic decision. The red microphone in his hand is not just a tool, but a symbol of power over the stage. When he lifts it, the world seems to stop. When he sings, it is not just a voice. It is a declaration that the stage is his home, and the world is merely a fortunate guest witnessing it. The signature mic drop style of BTS comes alive again within him, but not as a shadow of the past. This is a version that is more mature, sharper, and far more dangerous. He does not imitate, he rebuilds. When his hand rises pointing toward the audience, there's a cinematic nuance that is hard to explain, as if time deliberately slows down just to capture that moment. His wild and free smile appears as a contrast to the cold expression he showed seconds before. That is where his strength lies, an unpredictable duality that is always captivating. Then, attention shifts to another equally striking element, the outfit, a layered black top with a firm structure resembling a tactical vest, refined with haute couture touches, create a silhouette that is both strong and elegant. The fabric texture subtly reflects light, giving a futuristic yet aristocratic impression. Paired with loose black pants featuring sharp white graphic accents, the overall look feels like a character from another world, modern, mysterious, and full of identity. Fashion observers estimate the value of the Arirang 2026 comeback outfit to range between $3,500 and $7,000, with additional accessories such as layered rings and chain bracelets reaching $800 to $1,500. But what makes it truly irreplaceable is not those numbers. What makes it extraordinary is how he wears it. On Taehyung, clothing is not just worn, it is brought to life. Every stitch becomes part of narrative. Every layer becomes a language. He stands with firm shoulders, his hand raised with perfect control, creating a style that cannot be taught, even by a global industry that constantly tries to create the next icon. And at this point, a deeper, perhaps even provocative question arises. Is the global entertainment industry truly ready for someone like Kim Taehyung? Because what happened that night felt too big to be just content, too powerful to be just a viral clip, too alive to simply be recorded and stored. Perhaps this is why the moment never appeared on platforms like Netflix. Not because it is unworthy, but because it is too iconic to be confined within a conventional format. Then comes a moment no camera could ever fabricate. The human voice stops being just sound and transforms into waves of energy shaking the air. Kim Taehyung. Thousands call one name without pause, without hesitation. And in the middle of that roar, he stands still, calm, almost too calm for a global superstar. But that is exactly where his power lies. He does not need to shout to be heard. He does not need to move to command attention. His mere presence is enough to make the stage feel bigger, heavier, more meaningful. Photos from that night captured something rarely seen in modern pop history. The moment before the explosion. His face appears calm, but his eyes hold undeniable intensity, as if he hears the entire world calling him, and chooses when to respond. His symmetrical facial structure, sharp jawline, and near-flawless expression create a visual standard that is hard to rival. This is no longer just handsome. This is a new definition. When the red microphone rises again, everything becomes clear. This is not just a performance. This is domination. The stage is no longer a place where he stands. The stage is something he controls. And when the crowd's cheers erupt again, louder and wilder, it is no longer just a response. It is recognition that in the midst of a global industry full of competition and ever-changing trends, there is still one name capable of stopping time. Kim Taehyung did not just perform that night. He redefined what it means to be a global star. And now, the question is no longer what happened, but why the world was not given a chance to fully see it. Is this the beginning of something far bigger or something deliberately hidden? The answer may not be clear yet, but one thing is certain. The world will not stop talking about it. Thank you for watching until the end, but honestly, this is not the end. This is just the beginning of something much bigger. Because the deeper we dig, the clearer it becomes that what happened to Kim Taehyung in March 2026 was not just an ordinary stage. It is a moment that makes the world question, even questioning decisions made by a platform as big as Netflix. So now the question is yours. Was this purely an industry strategy, or is there something intentionally kept from the global public? Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell if you enjoy content like this. If you don't, feel free to skip, because the Taehyung Lovers channel never forces anyone. But one thing is certain. If you truly care about how the world sees Kim Taehyung, help this video go viral so the facts and impact never fade away. What do you think? Is this moment too big to be broadcast, or actually too dangerous to be shown? Write in the comments, because your opinion could become part of the global voice searching for answers. This is not just entertainment. This is hard news from a changing K-pop world. Stay tuned for the latest updates only on Taehyung Lovers. Keep following Kim Taehyung's journey only on this channel. Thank you, and see you next time.